Welcome back to my road to completion guide for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is episode 5, and we're back on the planet Zeffo. We have a few minutes before we get to our first collectible, and I wanted to talk about something that I did not mention back in episode 4. There is a lot of small combat sequences in this game, and you saw me cutting most of them out in episode 4, and I'm going to do the same in episode 5, and really for the duration of the series. Now obviously if we're fighting an enemy that we need to scan, or it's a boss fight or a mini boss, I'm leaving those combat sequences in. But these little small engagements, guys, where I'm just taking out stormtroopers or small enemies on the planet, I'm cutting that out just to make the guide as efficient as possible. So with that announcement out of the way, you guys enjoy the gameplay, and I will come back in with commentary once we reach our very first collectible.
An enemy here? Come on, get him!
Deal with me now, Jedi.
So our very first collectible is just around this corner. You'll actually remember this section because we already scanned a terrarium seed here, but we did not have BD1's ability. We could not get inside this chest. Now you can slice that open and pick up a Mantis paint job called Mercenary.
What is it, BD?
Now the last time we were here, we climbed the rope and took a left and continued with the story. This time I want you to climb the rope and take a right, and just around the corner is another chest. It's a lightsaber sleeve called Elemental Nature 2.
Hey, BD, take a look. Oh, you found something.
Now in order to make it to our next collectible and continue with the campaign, we have to get down to this lower platform. You could run around the area, but this is the much quicker way. Just fall off the edge, look to the left, that'll be your next collectible, a Force Echo called Evidence of a Fight.
That the Emperor is interested in Zeffo? Maybe.
The next collectible is a Force Echo called Missing Artifact. All you have to do is open up this door using BD1, take a right through the doorway, and you guys will see a meditation spot, and the Force Echo will be just to the left. Just remember you have some enemies in this room that you may want to kill first for some easy XP.
Do your magic, BD.
Do not concern yourself with a missing artifact. I'll deal with it personally.
We will not be able to pick up our next collectible until around the 6-minute 15-second mark of this video. It's another enemy scan. The enemy that we need to scan is a Purge Trooper Commander.
I knew it would end like...
You, know know any jokes, BD? I don't know. Why? Classic. There's gotta be some information on their excavation inside, right? Always looking on the bright side. Thanks, buddy.
Destroy the enemy. Get him. I heard you. Says you. I'd rather live than try to kill one of those.
Let's see what's behind here.
There you are. Afraid of getting hit? This hasn't happened before. Come now, Jedi, fight! Hit me. Finally.
Are the Inquisitors coming?
It's possible, but we're far from Braca. They might think Purge troopers are enough. Or they could be stalling you on purpose. Stay wary.
You can find your next collectible at the crash site. There'll be some enemies that you have to kill. Just past that point, you'll find another terrarium seed.
Stepping up security.
Keep your focus. Watch out for him, BD.
Okay, we'll keep looking. These plants kind of remind me of Grease's fur.
The next thing that we have to do is scan a probe droid. Now here's the problem with the probe droids. When you take them out, they tend to explode into several pieces. So you either have to find one of their pieces laying on the ground and scan that, or you have to just run around in the general area where you killed the probe droid and you'll just get a random spot where you can scan with BD1. There'll be no pieces laying on the ground. It'll just be a random spot, and that's what you'll see in my gameplay. Now let me say this, if you're not lucky enough to pick up the scan, don't worry about it. You will pass back through this section several times before we're finished with this guide. There'll also be some other probe droids that you'll find along the way through the campaign, so you have plenty of opportunities to pick up the scan for the probe droid later on in the guide. Just around the corner on the left is your next collectible. It's a Force Echo called Survivor.
All squads on red alert.
After you have that Force Echo, overcharge the panel with BD1 and make your way to the Imperial dig site. We have to grab another upgrade for BD1. It's called the powered Zipline.
Can't mean anything good.
I'll take him down.
You want to climb up a zipline?
Now that we have the powered Zipline ability for BD1, we can make our way to the next two collectibles. They're actually in the same room. You'll grab another Stim canister and a Force Echo, and the name of this Force Echo is called Closing In. Now, reaching the room where these two collectibles are is really tricky, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do in case you missed the jump. Basically, you're going to be on a zip line, and you have to press O at just the right time so that you land on a platform. The room will of course be on your left. If you miss the platform though, you have to backtrack to this area and try again. So what you'll see in this gameplay is me missing the platform on my very first attempt. I wanted to make sure that you knew how to path back to this bridge so that you could try as many times as you need to pick up both of those collectibles.
Guess I'll get all the rewards for
Let's move, BD. I think you can handle this, BD.
Captain, I think we found a way in.
A stormtrooper used these while scouting the area. Looks like he may have found a way into the tomb.
The next collectible that we need to find is a Force Echo called Guardians of the Tomb. Now in that same room where you find the Echo, there'll be a panel that you can overcharge with BD1. Make sure that you overcharge that panel and unlock the shortcut. After you kill all the enemies, backtrack until you find a Purge trooper, kill that Purge trooper, overcharge the panel with BD1, and then take an immediate left. That'll be your next collectible. It's a Force Echo called Destructive Measures.
Die, Jedi scum! You reek of weakness! I won't falter! Craven weakling! You cannot defeat the Empire!
A worker left their tools in a hurry. They were anxious to locate.
The next collectible is a Force Echo called Discovering Relics. It's through the double doors. Take a right. You'll see the Zipline. And if you look in the top left of the screen about right now, you will see the Force Echo on top of this crate. So what you have to do is wall run and then grab the rope, and instead of swinging over to the next platform, turn around, swing back over to the crate and grab that Echo.
My men will double their efforts. We'll get it.
If you remember back in episode 1, we had to fight the second sister. This was just before we went to Bogano for the first time. Well, in a few seconds, we have to fight her again, and this time we have to do a lot more damage before the sequence ends. But the strategy is going to remain the same. We're just going to get in there, use our Force Slow ability, slow her down, get a hit in, and then back away as quick as possible. After you do enough damage, you'll hit a cutscene. After the cutscene is over, you will get credit in your tactical guide for scanning the second sister.
Cal Kestis. Outstanding. That was nothing. Your skills are lackluster. Your demise draws near. I've suffered far worse. This is too easy. I'll destroy you like the others.
I thought the same thing once.
After your encounter with the second sister, head into the next tomb. Our first collectible is called Magnets. It's actually a log that you can get with BD1. I'll show you that in the gameplay, and I'll come back in with commentary once you're done with that scan.
Thanks for the help back there, BD. You saved my life. And got us closer to the tomb. We found it. It feels different than the other tomb. I don't know. I don't like it. I found it, but see her. Why didn't you tell me?
Because she's a liar.
You. How?
I rerouted communication the moment you tried to contact her. Slicing encrypted transmissions was always a pastime of hers. She taught me once. There's no technique Sarah has that I haven't perfected.
My friend, these devices appear to simulate this planet's gravitational pull.
Now, in order to get rid of the vines, all you have to do is activate the magnets that will cause them to burn. This is a running mechanic inside of this tomb. We'll do this several times, guys, to pick up some collectibles. There'll be a meditation spot up here you guys can rest at, save your progress. The next two collectibles can be found at the end of the bridge. There'll be some enemies that you have to kill first, but you will find a chest and an echo. Inside of the chest will be a Mantis paint job called Greezy Money, and the name of the Force Echo is called Age of Extravagance.
Taken with these Zeffo. Perhaps enough to hide the hologram amongst them.
Excellent. Hey, BD, in here. What is it, BD? A relic from the ancient Zeffo.
So we have about 3.5 minutes before we reach our next collectible. It's a Force Echo called Zeffo Laborer. Just enjoy the gameplay. There'll be some puzzles that we have to solve and enemies that we need to kill. And of course, I'll come back in with commentary once you have that collectible.
Getting across this gap. Better double back and tell the squad. Hey, get out here!
I'm glad I found you, BD.
More of my soldiers breach this tomb every minute.
Afraid to face me yourself?
Had your droid not intervened, I would have killed you with ease.
It's okay, buddy. Just ignore her.
You and him.
Think we're doing okay, BD? Good.
I've got a contact under us. Okay, okay. We're alone now, Jedi.
You're not getting out of here alive.
Die, Jedi scum.
An ancient Zephonian, part of a workforce that helped construct this tomb.
And now we have about 10 minutes of gameplay that we need to get through before we reach our next collectible. The next collectible is called Offerings of Mitkrull. It's a Force Echo. It's kind of hard to spot, so I'll come back in with commentary once we get to that part. Just know that on the way you're going to be unlocking another Jedi ability called Pull.
Imagine the artifacts the Empire would have missed if it weren't for your intervention on this backwater planet.
Sure it's worth the cost? I hear Project Augury came at a high price.
Stormtroopers and workers. Expendable resources.
You're a monster.
I am what Ser made me.
Give me a fight, Jedi. How boring! Ah, fuck this! That saber won't sit. Ah! I missed!
I've taken the artifact back to my ship for analysis. Pity you couldn't make it in time.
Doesn't matter what you steal. You'll never understand it.
Yet you do?
You'll find out soon enough.
I'll take those odds. I noticed something while examining the sarcophagus. It's a very convenient location to dispose of nuisances.
You lured me here. Was this your plan all along?
You truly have the wits of a scrapper.
Don't let him escape.
Focus your fire! Yeah! Look out! Is he gonna kill us all?
Don't let him escape. Get to the Jedi!
Feel that energy around you and summon your weapon.
The force is within you, around you, connecting you to your weapon.
Don't let yourself get discouraged. You must ignore all distraction.
The force is with me. It connects us. Yeah, I think so.
You survived.
Not part of your plan?
Luckily, I always allow for contingencies.
Moving to engage.
Someone needs a break.
Let's take him on. Is he gonna kill us all? I think he's scared.
So the collectible that I was telling you about earlier is coming up in just a second. Hit the wall run section, use your pull ability, unlock the gate, and you will see the force echo to the right of the gate. Now I pick it up extremely fast and I get attacked by an enemy at the same time, but you'll see it, it's just behind that pot, right there. So I'm getting credit for it now, but then I get attacked. But that's where you guys will be able to find your next collectible, offerings to Mitkrull.
Demolish you. He's mine. Move in. Enemy contact. You aren't leaving here alive. Keep dodging. I'm not giving up. Come on. All right, let's end it. I'm not done with you.
After you kill all the enemies in the area, jump across the gap and climb up to the next platform. All the way to the left is a wall that you can force push. Inside of that room is going to be a chest and a log that you can pick up with BD1.
Let's head out. Just need to know, don't you? Let's see what you found.
My friend, what I found here is disconcerting.
Now you can force push the wall on the other side of the platform. Inside of that room, you'll find 2 force echoes.
This was lit as a sign of respect and reverence for the sage buried here. Remains of a Zeffo soldier. They were killed for stealing an offering to the sage.
The next chest is actually just around this corner, but we cannot get to it yet because we need to burn the vines first. So climb up and then turn around and jump across this gap. There'll be some lamps that you can grab using your force pull ability. Use those lamps to burn the vines and then grab the chest.
Want to check it out? Let's see what you found.
All you have to do to pick up the next collectible is cross this gap using the vines and the wall run section. The force echo is on the other side, and the name of this echo is called Oppression.
These are the remains of a Zephonian, a laborer, worked to death. I'm glad you're here, BD.
So let's talk about this next collectible. It's a chest. It's a paint job for the Mantis called Zodiac Drifter. You will know in just a second why I want to talk about this particular collectible. Notice how the textures did not load in this area. Look on the left. You see how the textures haven't fully loaded yet? This glitched on me. This did not happen in my practice run. I don't think this will happen to you, but I wanted to leave this footage in here in case you did have these texture glitches. You'll know exactly how to solve this puzzle. Now, you just saw me clear the vines away using the lamp, and that actually opens up a pathway into the next room. You're not going to see that pathway in my game because I'm having the texture glitch. If you are having this texture glitch, just walk through the wall. There'll be a gap here. You do have to use your force pull ability to get the vine. Now you just want to grab one of these lamps and toss it back over the gap and burn the vines and then interact with the switch. Now you can backtrack into the main room. Your goal is to grab one of the lamps and toss it over the doorway. There's actually vines that's blocking the path that leads to the chest. You have to burn those vines first. The only way to do that is to toss a lamp over the doorway. Now you're not going to see any vines in my game because they're not actually there. But you can see I'm getting the burning animation. You just don't see the vines clearing. In your game, the vines will clear and then you'll have a safe passage all the way through to get the chest.
Hey, BD, in here. Yes, let's take a look.
If you're not experiencing the glitch at this point, it will be obvious to you how to exit this area. But if you're having the glitch, it looks like it's impossible to leave this room. What you cannot see at this point is the fact that there is a rock wall in front of you. I'm just showing you where I'm at now using the holo map. It looks like a rock wall. It looks like you cannot climb it, but the textures just haven't loaded in yet. But the game is still allowing you to climb this wall, okay? I'm just gonna run up, hold down my L2 button, and boom, I'm on the wall and I'm climbing and I can make it out of this room. Now, as soon as you cross back over the gap, you want to check your holo map immediately, especially if you've had this glitch. You want to make sure that you're showing 100% explored for the Tomb of Mitkrull. Your chest and your secrets should also be at 100%. Now we can exit the tomb using the elevator in the next room. You guys will pick up another log with BD1 and a trophy called Everything is Connected.
Here it is. I have finally found an intact representation of this sacred Zeffo artifact.
As soon as you get off the elevator, take a right and look around the corner. You'll find another chest. It contains a poncho called Serape.
Want to look inside? Yes.
There is a meditation spot just around the corner where you can rest and get your health back. And then we want to make our way to a workbench. We want to pick up another ability for BD1.
Very good, Padawan. You've cleared the way.
What are you talking about?
I needed this tomb raised. And now that I have what I need, you're of no use to me.
Can you reverse what she's done? Thanks. Hope this new encryption keeps her out for good. A probe droid processing unit. We should check in with the Mantis.
So at this point, we're just making our way back to the Mantis. Now there'll be a scripted event that'll happen before you make it to the Mantis, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But I wanted to show you the elevator to my left. Now I go straight for the overcharge panel, and I skip the elevator completely. Now this doesn't mean that I want you to skip the elevator. In fact, I want you guys to take the elevator all the way down to the bottom, and then ride the elevator back up and follow my gameplay from here. That elevator is known to glitch once we come back to Zeffo for the third time to pick up the rest of our collectibles. It happened to me twice during my practice runs at this game, and it may happen to some of you as well. So when we come back to Zeffo for the third time, I will show you two routes to pick up these collectibles. One route will of course involve the elevator, the other route will not. This is the only way that I can ensure that none of you get lost on our third trip to this planet. Just up ahead is another collectible. It's a chest. You can grab some more material for your lightsaber.
Hey, BD, in here. Okay, BD, what is it?
After you pick up that collectible, start to make your way back toward the Mantis. Remember, there is a scripted event. A bounty hunter will trap you and carry you to a prison. When you get to the prison, you will be separated from BD1. You'll have to solve some puzzles, free BD1, and then you'll have to complete the battle arena. Now this is very important. Just before you enter the battle arena, make sure that you rest at the meditation spot. The last enemy that you fight in the battle arena will be the same bounty hunter that traps you here on Zeffo and carried you to that prison. You need to kill that bounty hunter and scan him for your tactical guide. Now you only have a few seconds to do this before the Mantis comes in and rescues you. If that happens and you don't pick up the scan, load back up your save and try again. Now you can see in the background that I'm doing the checklist early. I'm not waiting until the very end of this episode, and that's because you want to make sure that everything checks out now. Basically, getting trapped by this bounty hunter is a free pass off of Zeffo, but once you come back, you have to start from the ship again. So we don't want to have to backtrack through all the areas that we just explored in this episode, so you want to make sure that you have everything on the checklist now. Once you feel confident that you have everything on the checklist, you can wrap up this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in episode 6. Be good.
Terra. Intruder!
Got something for you! Just a scratch!
BD? Gotta find a way out of here. Wherever here is. Something back there. Is that a power cable? That did it. Here's cold. Stale. Might be deep underground. Something. Door opened up. Feels like I'm being watched. What happened to them? Let's get out of here before the same happens to us. Do your magic, BD. Appreciate it, BD. It's got power now. Hey, I recognize this band.
Finally, he arrives!
Want a show? I'll give you a show.
I smell blood and money! Tonight, we celebrate those fallen challengers of the past. and the great sacrifice they made to make us all rich. I felt that one. This kid is something else, isn't he? Get the hang of it quick.
Maybe you should come down and face me yourself.
I'm too busy counting my credits.
Great, you talk too much.
Can't win them all. What a strike from the Jedi. Plenty more where that came from. And more. Now that's what I call a fight. Let's level this thing. Hit him with something really nasty. Ooh, uglier than mating season on Yalbeck Prime. That was nothing. Just wait. Hit him again. This is gonna end one way or another. Now it's on. The best is yet to come. I believe you know our next challengers. The Haxion brood is gunning for you.
Just crazy.
Woo!
That's big. Can't wait to bring you in.
Just like the Clone Wars. Someone kill this kid for me. What do you mean it comes? It's a Mantis! Blast it! There's no escape! I'll chase you across the galaxy if I have to!
Yeah, now you're thinking, let's get out of here.
If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, you can do so at Patreon. I offer a ton of rewards from behind the scenes coverage, RTC visual guides and workbooks, even early video access. Monthly pledges start at $1 a month, and for those of you who support me already, I greatly appreciate it.